Airdrop's rival has finally arrived and it's called nearby sharing. It's from Google themselves, not Samsung or not Huawei, but Google. So the first image we're going to be using is 3.16 MB file size. I took this picture myself a few days ago, well not a few days ago, it was last month. And I forgot to mention, on One UI 2.5, the nearby sharing panel is all the way at the top, so it's much easier to share. So now we're going to accept it and let's see how fast it transfers. It transfers extremely quickly, probably took under a second. Now we're going to be moving on to a video. This video is 155 MB. It is 1080p and 60 FPS because this channel produces high quality footage. As you can see, it does take a while, and I think Google recently updated it and now it's a bit broken because now it uses Wi-Fi direct. I set the app to use my data, my home Wi-Fi data, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. As you can see at the top, it does disconnect and then it connects to another Wi-Fi connection. That Wi-Fi connection is between the two devices. The one on the left is the S20 Ultra and the one on the right is the Note 10 Plus. So as you can see, the handshake process, this is not even transferring at the moment. The handshake process is extremely long. So as you can see, there's a Wi-Fi called Direct and it has finally transferred over. The transfer itself is very quick, but the handshake process takes a while. Now we're going to be using Airdrop. We're going to be using that same picture of the bus. It's I think 3 MB, I can't remember what it was. And as you can see, it's similar to Google's nearby sharing, maybe just a bit slower. Now we're going to be moving on to that video. It is 155 MB and I'm going to be sharing it directly from Google Drive. Although this does seem unfair, later in the video I'll share from the Photos app. So as you can see, that 155 MB shared pretty quickly and it's a huge file size. Now we're going to be making some adjustments to the nearby sharing. We're going to be doing without internet to test how slow it goes. So it does say files will be shared offline, and we'll find out what that means, whether it means Bluetooth, whether it means Wi-Fi direct, we'll see. Alright, it's going to connect to the other device and the handshake process has completed and it seems like, and it is sending over the file. As you can see from the circle progress bar, it is quite slow because it is doing it offline. I assume that it's using Bluetooth to transfer over because Wi-Fi direct would be much faster, probably under 1 second. So that took a while. Next we're going to be using another footage on Airdrop. The file size for this is 90.3 MB. Obviously the footage is 1080p 60 FPS because you already know on this channel we go high quality. Alright, so we're going to be starting the Airdrop process. And I'm going to click accept and let's see how long it takes. So that was probably 1 to 2 seconds for a 155 MB file. Next we're going to be doing another footage that I did take recently of the Galaxy Buds Live. I did do an unboxing. The file size is 33.5 MB and let's see how long it takes to transfer over. I'm going to click accept and it's pretty much instant. Next we're going to be doing an 86.13 MB video. As you can tell, I have used this video before on the iPad and iPhone. The file size on that was 90 MB. However, on the Samsung Android, it is 86 MB. I'm not sure why, but it is the same video file. So as you can see, the process is quite long, and I assume it's because of the handshake process. It's deciding whether to use Wi-Fi direct or not. As you can see at the top, the Wi-Fi did disconnect from my home Wi-Fi, and I assume it's going to connect to Wi-Fi direct. So it did transfer over, but as you can see, it did take much longer than Airdrop. Next we're going to be sharing the Galaxy Buds Live video. On Android it is 33 MB, but I believe on iOS it was 35 MB, a bit bigger. So as you can see, the handshake process does take quite a bit of time. it's deciding to use data or Wi-Fi direct. It's always using Wi-Fi direct. And as I'll show later in the video, my home internet speed is very fast, so I'm not sure why data is not being used. As you can see at the top, it does disconnect from my home Wi-Fi, and it does establish a Wi-Fi direct connection between the two phones. So after it does establish the connection, it is pretty fast to transfer. Next, we're going to be using the Wi-Fi only mode on nearby sharing. So instead of using data, it's going to be using Wi-Fi only. Gonna click accept, and let's see how long it takes. I assume that Wi-Fi only mode is Wi-Fi direct. I had to skip 20 seconds of the footage because it was too long, but as you can see, there is no difference between data mode and Wi-Fi only mode for me. As you can see that I'm on the Google Play Services beta. This is the latest update on both phones, so I'm not sure why transferring video takes so long. And to prove that I have fast Wi-Fi connection, here's my speed test. Having these kind of speeds should make the process faster, but as you can see, for me, the difference between data mode and Wi-Fi only mode has no difference. Remember that Google's nearby sharing has just come out recently, probably a month or two ago, so Google still needs to fix on the bugs and optimize it. So maybe in 2021 or in the near future, Google's nearby sharing service is much faster and hopefully on par with Airdrop. Making these kinds of videos takes extremely long to film and to edit, so I would appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you're interested in unboxing videos, reviews, and these types of tests. See you next time.